Bros, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. We're not even a quarter of the way into the year, really, and there have already been a ton of new releases. Today, I'm gonna be ranking 25 of the biggest ones that have come out this year, from worst to best. There's a lot to talk about, so let's jump straight into it with number 25. Which is gonna be Le Beau Narcisse by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Now this is a fragrance that I really anticipated, not because of the note breakdown. The note breakdown kind of sucks. I mean, look at this. Wow, so much effort. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, not too much to write home about there, but I think the presentation actually looks pretty slick. I like this little sash design with like a gemstone kind of layered in there on the shoulder. Makes a dingy sound. But I was really looking forward to this, even with the boring note breakdown, because Le Beau Le Parfum, and Le Beau Paradise Garden, all three, in my opinion, are great. Unfortunately, this one just didn't really work out for me. It has kind of a powdery feel to it, a little bit creamy. Doesn't have that attention-grabbing opening that the other ones have. And I think to my own taste, this is probably the worst in the Le Beau lineup. I'd take Flower Edition over this one as well. So number 25, Le Beau Narcisse. Number 24, Le Male in Bleu. Again, this is just my taste and it's as of right now. Who knows if I wear these more through the year, maybe some of them move up, some of them move down, but this is just kind of like a snapshot in time. Le Male in Bleu though, just like Le Beau Narcisse, just did not really do it for me. I anticipated it a lot. I was thinking it's gonna be fantastic. A Le Male Bleu fragrance doing battle with Bleu de Chanel and Sauvage for supremacy at the top selling list of friggin' all time. Let's go! And then it came out and it's not great. It has an over-reliance on anise, so kind of a licorice scent profile that a lot of people I've had smell this have just not liked. It is not going to compete with the big blue fragrances out there, and I'm gonna put it right there, 24th. Now I do have to tell you guys, it's really difficult to rank out 25 fragrances because a bunch of these, depending on the day you catch me, I would have them higher or potentially lower. And some of these I might talk about being like basically grouped together as we go along, where it's just kind of interchangeable almost. These two though were the clear bottom for me. And it's not just the fragrances themselves, it's also the anticipation and the lack of them meeting that anticipation. Whether that's fair or not, that's kind of how it is, because with these lines, they are huge nowadays. And when they're kind of, you know, hyped and anticipated, then they come out and it's just like, ugh, that definitely does drag it down a little further. Number 23, and this is a difficult one for me. This is Hero Elixir from Burberry. I actually really like the fragrance. The issue that I have is maybe it's not different enough from some of the other ones that came before it. And for me, I think the Eau de Parfum is still the best in the lineup. And I think if you're looking for maximum versatility, the Eau de Toilette is gonna be probably the best. Just the overall though, is the Eau de Parfum. So the Elixir, you've got a lot of overlap, like I said, with you know, Parfum Intense. It's also gonna be the most expensive one and comes in the smallest bottle. And so all of those reasons kind of drag it down a bit. But if you like leather-based fragrances, this is pretty solid. And one spot above that is K Elixir. So 2 elixirs in a row. Now, K is a line that I don't really like a whole lot. And that goes across pretty much all of them. Like some of them I can tolerate, but I'm not really in love with them. And when you compare the K fragrances to their competitors, you know, their contemporaries, all the other blue fragrances out there, I would take pretty much all of them over the K line. Now, K Elixir smells different compared to the other K fragrances, but it's kind of redundant if you own Boss Bottled Elixir, or to a lesser extent, Sauvage Elixir. Like, this is clearly trying to take notes from those fragrances and then put a tiny little K twist on it and pass it off like it's something that they did, or something they came up with, I should say, because obviously they did do it. And the same things that kind of drag down Hero Elixir drag this one down. It's an elixir, so it's more expensive, gonna come in a smaller size bottle. And I think that Boss Bottled Elixir, Boss Bottled Absolute, Sauvage Elixir, fragrances like that are just better. So it's not that this smells bad necessarily, it's just, I don't know that it needs to exist. 21 is Narciso Rodriguez Musk Santal. Now this one is completely fine. It smells nice. It's classy, it's masculine, it's grown. Oh. The issue with this one is it's not necessarily trying to really push any boundaries or anything. It's just trying to smell nice, and it does smell nice. More for middle-aged guys and older for sure. And it's one that is completely fine to wear, smells, again, like I said, nice, people are going to enjoy it, but it is mainly just semi-creamy sandalwood and a musk, hence the name. A slight throwback feel to it as well. It's just a lot of the other ones I would take over this one if I were taking, you know, just 1 scent, which is why it's down here. Number 20, Legend Elixir Mont Blanc. Not a great showing from Elixirs so far. Now this one is, to me, it's a legend. And what I mean by that is, it's the type of fragrance that you can grab, spray, and go pretty much whenever you want, and it'll work. But at the same time, it's not worth paying full retail for the Elixir, when I think that a lot of other fragrances out there at that price point are gonna be better for you. Though, just like the other Legend fragrances, as time goes on, that price drops at discounters and it becomes way more of an attractive pickup. So that would be my suggestion with this one. Wait for it, pick it up when the price drops down. And I will say, if you look at the note breakdown for this one, it looks really interesting. There's iris in there, there's cinnamon in there, there's, I think, 2 different types of vanilla in here. But when you actually smell the scent, all of it is just kind of blended together where none of that really sticks out in any big way. So if you're going into it expecting, oh, it's gonna be a big change, there's gonna be all this different stuff in here, you know, poking out, you're gonna get a deep, rich vanilla, you're gonna get a clean, classy iris, and blah, 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 you'll probably be disappointed. 19, Bulgari Man Wood Essence Parfum. The presentation has been changed. It now has just a normal cap. Used to be the atomizer was built into the top, but they switched it up. And this one has some aspects that I really like. So it's got vetiver in here, which I always dig. Also has cashmere in as well, so it has a bit of a like fizzy fuzziness to it, like a clean aspect of woodiness over top that vetiver. Not really a sweet fragrance. A lot of these coming up are going to be. This one's not. There's a nice fresh spiciness in there as well. This is going to appeal, again, more to like guys probably middle-aged and up, or at least mid to late 20s and up, but it is a solid fragrance. It's solid, it's just not anything that's necessarily going to set the world on fire. Gentleman Society Sport up next. Now this one is very different from everything else we're gonna talk about in a big, big way. When you first spray this on, you are assaulted in multiple ways. But yeah, you're assaulted by lemon, a bunch of it. It is bright, sharp, slightly bitter, very aromatic, has a woodiness underneath. It does not smell super close to the other Gentleman Society fragrances. Instead, this has a little bit of like a throwback classic men's cologne style vibe to it. Really, really clean, great for spring, summer, and fall as well. Yet again though, this is probably going to appeal more to guys that are not on the younger side. 17, gonna be Stronger With You Powerfully. Now, I've noticed that Armani has been really pushing this one lately. A lot of ads and stuff like that for this one. And it doesn't smell bad, but it's redundant. Although, to be fair, you know, a lot of the Stronger With You fragrances, you could say, are kind of redundant with each other. It's a line that a bunch of them are really closely grouped together. It does smell really good though. If you don't have a Stronger With You, this would be a really solid place to jump off from. I think still for me that Stronger With You, absolutely, probably the best overall, like if I were gonna keep just one. And one slight issue that I have with this is the cherry. And all the media photos and everything and all the write-ups, it was like cherry, 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 cherry. So the expectation was that it was gonna be this big cherry explosion. When you spray it on, it's more of a restrained cherry note. It's there, it's just not really, you know, explosive. Still though, like I said, the stuff does smell fantastic. The performance is really good. The reason I don't have it higher is because it does overlap pretty heavily and the cherry doesn't set it enough apart to be like clearly its own vibe. It's more like taking the existing fragrances and tweaking them a little bit. 212 Black Cab up next, Carolina Herrera. Now I love this presentation. I think it looks awesome, though I know some people are not gonna like it and think it looks gaudy, but to me this is sick. This is like some classic Martin Scorsese Taxi Driver vibes, if it were a fragrance, I guess. Yeah, I love this though. The yellow paint on the inside and then the like checkerboard that goes around, really, really slick. It is a Carolina Herrera, which means most people are not gonna care about it. Really, when it comes to their fragrances at this point, it's basically Bad Boy and people barely seem to care about that. Also got a nice magnetic cap, so 1 point for that. Now, the note breakdown for this, really simple, but kind of interesting. It's got pineapple, also caramel. I think it could use more pineapple. There's not enough, so that doesn't really capture attention as much as it could off the top. The caramel comes in as it dries down. It does have that kind of aromatic lean that some of the 212 fragrances can have. It is a really good wearable scent. That's gonna be totally overlooked. Phantom in Red, Paco Rabanne up next. Now I know Phantom gets hated on a lot because it looks like a corny, cheesy little robot, and that's true. it is. But if you can get past that, this is actually a really, really solid scent. So it's got saffron and plum liquor as some of the notes off the top. Lavender, sage, amberwood, and tobacco as it dries down. Also technically has oud as a note in here, but it is not really an oud fragrance. It's got great performance, a really nice sweet aspect that people are drawn to. And if it was not in a phantom bottle, I think a lot more people would really enjoy this one. This actually smells really nice. Let's pair that up with this Bad Boy Cobalt Absolute. And I gotta say that like these here are all sort of interchangeable, like from here to here. And then I would say from here to here, these two, and then these two. So this is another one where just because it is a bad boy, a lot of people are gonna write it off initially and just be like, ah, it's a bad boy, it sucks. But it does smell really nice. It's a vanilla forward fragrance, but it has some different things in there like truffle, for example, oak wood. Also, of course, has that aromatic flair off the top that's gonna tie it in with the original Bad Boy Cobalt. You have lavender in there, you've got sage. Bottle looks okay. I mean, kind of the same as ever, except they slap some gold on it, which means it's better or something. Yeah, just a really nice blend of fresh, sweet, and aromatic all together. I think potentially kind of holding this back, the original Bad Boy, that one is still probably gonna be the best for most people. This one is trying to slot in, you know, somewhere between that one and Cobalt Elixir, but it does smell really nice. Okay, so we're moving up one more tier. So like I said, these are all together. These are together, these are together, these are together. I don't know if you want to tier that out. It would be like, I don't know, because I don't know how many tiers there are gonna be. What is that, like F? We'll figure it out. So this one is up next. This is Forever Wanted Absolute. And Forever Wanted Absolute, it's a tale of two fragrances, okay? The opening kind of sucks. You can get used to it and then you can convince yourself, oh, it's actually pretty good, which I've almost gotten to that point. But then when you have other people smell it, they in general don't like that opening. I've had multiple people smell this one off strips, off my skin like a weirdo. And the opening is pretty consistently disliked. It has a weird minerality to it and it just doesn't smell super pleasant. As it dries down though, it gets a lot better. So it's one of those deals you first spray it on, questionable. As it dries down, smells friggin' fantastic to most people. So I'm gonna put it right here, sort of midway. After that, Coach Pure Platinum Parfum. So this one is kind of, you know, a little bit similar-ish to myself Absolute. Sort of in that wheelhouse, just really super easy to wear, versatile, everything else. And between this and Legend Elixir, both of these, you know, in the silver bottles that are probably, you know, the type of scents you would wear the exact same times and stuff. I actually think the Coach is better. And I think those two are in their own tier, so we're moving up to the really good stuff now. But before that, I want to give you guys codes. There are many. Now the JOMASHOP codes, they update every quarter. So make sure that you're keeping up with whatever the newest codes are, and they only work within the JOMASHOP app. So if you're seeing outdated codes, just check a new video and it'll have new ones on there. Then also have codes for a bunch of other stores, Gift Express, Frag Flex, the Perfume Box, Beauty House, many more. So anytime you shop for fragrances, use the code, save some money. Cologne Forte, part of the L'Homédie All line by Guerlain up next. This stuff is awesome, but I am a fan of pretty much all the L'Homédie All fragrances, especially their summertime ones, which that one is. It does though share a lot of similarities with Platine Privé, with the original Cologne, and with some of the other fragrances that have been discontinued before it. So that kind of pulls it down a little bit, but still really, really good stuff. We're at the fragrances now that are really, really nice. Luna Rossa Carbon Eau de Parfum. This one right here also has a good amount of anise. So it shares that with Le Male and Blue, but this one is much more wearable. It's nice and clean, it's very smooth like you would expect a Prada fragrance to be, but it is not really very close, to me anyway, to the original Luna Rossa, and it also does not smell like Sauvage or Sauvage Elixir. Reason I bring that up is because, of course, this one coming out, the original Luna Rossa Carbon smells like Sauvage, so it was like, well, maybe the new one smells like Elixir. It doesn't. 1 Million Night Elixir, this one by Rabanne up next. This is a fragrance I actually like a pretty good amount. It's a little funky, but in a way I love. So it has maple syrup, which is, you know, gonna be different. At times it smells a little bit like burnt sugar as well. It does have a different opening, but it's more wearable than Forever Wanted Absolute's opening. It's a 1 million, so a lot of people are gonna automatically say it's bad, but I actually really like that one. I think it's different, it's unique, but it still has that familiar vanilla in there that people love. The One Eau de Parfum up next. This is the new version, and I think it smells great. It's close enough to the original, the One Eau de Parfum, that it kind of scratches that itch. It does have better performance. I would maybe have it higher if it wasn't just kind of a reformulation. Aqua de Jo Eau de Parfum Intense up next. This one smells kind of like Aqua de Jo Absolute. So Aqua de Joe Absolute discontinued obviously years ago, but they have brought it back with a twist, and that's kind of what that is. I will say it smells better to me than Aqua de Joe Eau de Parfum. I would wear that over that one. I think it's more wearable for a lot of people than Aqua de Joe Elixir. It's confusingly named, and it is kind of annoying that Armani is just over and over and over with Aqua de Joe and Code and all this stuff, bringing back fragrances that were discontinued, changing it a little bit and giving it a new name, like, come on. But it's still really good. Number 6, just outside the top 5, YSL Iced. This is a blast of mint, like a ton of mint. Still got that Y freshness in there, good amount of sweetness as well. The fragrance is like neon blue. And to be fair to this fragrance right here, I have not been able to wear it when it's really warm outside, you know, heading into late spring and summer, so this one could move up. Really like it. Number 5 is a fragrance that has grown on me a ton, Purple Melancholia, Valentino Uomo Born in Roma. So when I first got this one, I liked it, but there were also aspects of it that I didn't like. It reminded me a little bit at times of Lattafa Assad Zanzibar, which I think that fragrance sucks. At least my bottle, it does not smell good. People hate that stuff. Every time I've worn it, I'm like, I think it smells kind of bad, but maybe other people, oh no, they hate it too. Okay, great. But as I've worn this more, man, it's like I forget about the Lattafa and just kind of hone in on this, and it's not really that complex. It's a sweet lavender fragrance, coconut in here as well. One thing I have noticed with this one while wearing it though, people love this, you know, so very different compared to the Lattafa. It's grown on me a ton. Number 5. Number 4, Scandal Elixir. So Jean Paul Gaultier, they did something good. Now I'm a big fan of the Scandal line, so just throwing that out there. I love all of them. Well, I love most of them. The Intense was like, it was okay, but you know, not as good as the others. Now this isn't my favorite Scandal, that's still gonna be Scandal Absolute, but I think I would put this one just beneath Scandal Absolute. This also has cherry, so it was announced about the same time as Stronger With You Powerfully, and I was expecting both of these just to have a really robust, you know, powerful cherry note. This one has more of the cherry than Powerfully, but it is a black cherry, so this is not like a Tom Ford sugary sweet, like head snapping kind of cherry. It's almost rubbery to an extent, the way the cherry hits, which I actually really like. I know that sounds really weird and messed up, but it smells good. Performance is there, compliment factors there. I love this stuff for fall and winter time. Really, really nice. Number 3, Polo 67. This is the Eau de Parfum Extreme. Now this is basically just blue fragrance style, like wear it whenever you want, any season, daytime or evening. Love the opening. Absolutely perfect for this type of scent anyway. Fruity, fresh, zingy, bright, uplifting. As it dries down, you've got like solar notes, kind of a caramel vibe, so it sweetens up nicely. Just really great day-to-day wear. It's pretty simple, gets the job done. Number 2, and this one is honestly a surprise to me because I ordered it as just like throwing it into my cart when I was buying a couple other fragrances that I was more excited for. And I was ordering it from Europe, so it was one of those deals where it was like, well, I mean, it's available and I'm buying this and this and this, so like, I'll chuck it in there. And I didn't even open it for like a week. Like it just sat there on my desk and I was like smelling other things, wearing other things, and I was like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Because it's just essentially a rehashed name. You know, it's a fragrance that's been out for years and years and years and years and years. And then they just chucked it into a new bottle with a new reformulation, and I was like, oh, it's probably gonna suck. Then I opened it, had my wife smell it. She loved this stuff, and I was like, well, maybe there's something to that. I started wearing it. Now I love this stuff. It is the scent Intense. Hugo Boss, little stupid 50 ml. Technically, I think if you look this up online, it's like Eau de Parfum Intense, but yeah, it's, you know, it's just Intense. So with this scent right here, it is ambery, warm, sweet, but not overdone. Like it's not a heavy, thick, syrupy, like, you know, vanilla on top of vanilla sweet. This is more like a nice amber. Sparkly, slightly sugary at times, but in a very pleasant way. The Meninka in here smells fantastic. I don't think anybody's really gonna care about this. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think when it comes to Hugo Boss, they've kind of, you know, with the scent line anyway, drop the ball kind of. So people aren't checking for it much. They're more into the new Boss bottled, you know, whatever that's gonna be. I just love this stuff. Off a strip, smells great. Off skin, smells great. Performance is good, very nice. And that takes me to number 1, the One Parfum. I love this stuff. Like, thank God Dolce & Gabbana brought the One back. They let it sit and fester on the sidelines. And then they were like, oh, maybe you should do something with that. Yes, you should. Yes, thank you. This one, woodier, deeper, richer, solid performance. They upgraded the presentation. Looks nicer as far as the bottle goes. Small things. It just looks a little higher quality. The atomizer, higher quality. The fragrance, a nice departure from all the very vanilla forward scents out there. Like I said, this one more ambery. It's got a great smelling tobacco note in there. Little touch of patchouli, some fresh spices, of course, a hint of orange. Really good for evenings out, for fall and for winter. And even though it's the one fragrance, the longevity is good. The projection is not insane, it's more normal, but it'll stick around. And of everything released so far this year, if I could keep just one thing, it would be that. Part of it, of course, is because they finally brought the one back and I want that one for my collection and I like wearing it. And another part is it just smells awesome. Oh yeah, the tiers. So I would say that from number 1 down to Why Iced is a tier, and then these are a tier from Aqua de Jo down here to the Grillon. All right, there it is. Super difficult to do. I basically sat here with 25 fragrances for hours trying to figure out where I wanted to put them, and I still don't feel good about it. And again, depending on the day you catch me, some of these are moving down, some of these are moving up. I wanna thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.